Hey folks, it's Shannon. I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about my solar journal today. People seemed really excited about the idea of it, and so I wanted to share some of my tips so far from the practice. So get some tea and let's jump into it. So first off, I wanted to talk about what got me into the idea of doing a solar journal. Like I mentioned before, I had a reading with Jessica and the Moon, which you should do. It was amazing. And she was looking at my birth chart and was like talking about how a lot of my planets are in relationship with my sun, and my sun is in a little bit of a tricky position in my chart because it's in the 7th house opposite my ascendant, which is Leo. So my sun is my chart ruler, but it's not in the best position in the sky, if that makes any sense. So one of her ideas for how to kind of work with that going forward was to get a solar journal, because journaling is such a big part of my practice. So I wanted to show you a little bit about what I've done with it so far. But the idea is to basically be more intentional about working with the sun and the way that it shows up in my life. So first things first, this is another notebook from Archer and Olive. It came in the Celestial Wonder subscription box back in December 2023, somewhere around there. It's 7x7, it's a square journal, and it's soft cover, which is exciting. But I just thought with the emblem on the front that it was a great choice for my solar journal. So let's go inside. I have put some little pages to kind of keep private things private, but there's not too many of them because this is mostly astrology and stuff. But yeah, try to be respectful. Don't zoom in and read all the details, please. This was just some watercolor that I did and a quote that I found. And then this might look familiar if you watch Tempest Channel. So this is a wheel of the year with a birth chart superimposed upon it. And it starts up here at the spring equinox and goes all the way around. So it talks about the different seasons. These are names for the seasons that I came up with, because up in the upper Midwest, it's a little bit different than the version that the Wheel of the Year usually goes through. And then I've got the various cross quarter and solstice and equinoxes in their places along. We've got the zodiac signs, and then in here you can see are some of my planets. So here's my sun. In that slightly tricky position. And then along with this, I have cards that I drew through the year. And so I talk a little bit about kind of how that season has been for me as we're going forward. So far I've only done it with spring, but this will be winter, this will be, this will be fall, this will be winter. And so we'll start over again next year. So that's the Wheel of the Year spread that I put together, again, inspired by Tempest. This is a really simple page, but it's just reminding me of some of the solar allies that I have, both in terms of crystals, herbs, keywords, and symbols, and some of the astrology that is associated with it, as well as some deities. This is my solar return from 2024, and it's a similar just zodiac wheel with where my planets aligned on my birthday this year. This is a Decan wheel. If you haven't heard about the Decans, Marlena Teresa did an amazing Decan walk practice last year that I was a part of, and I'm still kind of working with the Decans, though a little bit more loosely than I did last year. So this is just here for reference for me. And then we get into it. So some notes I was taking on a lecture about the sun and astrology. And then just day by day, I write kind of what aspects the sun is in and what transits it's doing. I write a little bit when we get forecasts, and then some reflection. And that's most of what is in here. But there are some special pages. So around this time I was working with Sunstone. I wanted to write a little bit about it. This is a watercolor that I did from a meditation that was led on the summer solstice. This was my tarot spread for the summer solstice. And then I did a little bit about Cancer season and a little bit about the Mercury Cazimi that comes up later today. So that's all I have so far, but I figured I would just show you what I've been up to. There's lots of room to go. I'm sure the practice will evolve and change as we go. So I'm curious, have you ever done a journal dedicated to a particular planet before, or to a particular part of your birth chart? If so, how did it go? I'm really curious if you've done this practice or not. So let me know down in the comments, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.